The Changhe Z-8 is often regarded by many as nothing but a copy of the SA-341 Super Furlong. However, its story reveals more than that. Later variants of the rotorcraft deserve recognition as separate models from their French ancestor. As the weapon detective, we're now investigating the Z-8, the keystone of the modern Chinese helicopter industry. The Z-8 is not particularly successful as it has never achieved a technological breakthrough on a global scale or produced large quantities for a country like China. Nevertheless, this helicopter remains important in many other aspects. Its manufacturer, Changhe Aircraft Industries Corporation or CAIG, developed comprehensive helicopter design and production capabilities based on it. China's helicopter manufacturing began with the piston engine Z-5, a licensed version of the Mi-4 in 1960. However, during those years, other top designers had already started using turboshaft technology. Consequently, China began developing the Z-6. This helicopter was essentially a Z-5 fitted with a WZ-5 turboshaft engine. However, due to the Sino-Soviet split, the country was unable to obtain adequate technical support. The project was unsuccessful. In the 1970s, new opportunities arose when the West recognized Beijing as China's official representative. Nevertheless, the People's Liberation Army or PLA did not show much interest in cutting-edge weaponry of the time. The country's technical and economic capacities could not support such a modern armed force, which still relied on people's war tactics. Similarly, the PLA Navy or PLAN organized itself to perform its primary mission, literal defensive combat. Reflecting their existing tactical mindset, when the Chinese naval staff decided to acquire 16 SA-321 JA Super Furlongs from France, they did not consider altering their tactical approach. China was now developing the DF-5 intercontinental ballistic missile and planning a series of firing tests, including flights over the ocean. However, no PLAN ship had true blue water and helicopter operating capabilities. In fact, the Navy didn't even have a ship-based rotorcraft. As a result, it could neither monitor the tests nor recover the sea-landed components. Therefore, Beijing ordered Super Furlongs specifically for the DF-5 trials and land-based operations, with no intention at the time to develop modern open-sea naval engagement capabilities. Nevertheless, once the helicopters arrived, the Chinese naval staff quickly realized the broader capabilities they offered. In 1976, China started developing a reverse-engineered version of the SA-321JA known as the Z-8. However, economic and technical challenges halted the project in 1979. Although one of the Super Furlongs landed on the deck of a PLAN warship for the first time on January 3, 1980, an achievement that further stimulated Navy staff interest, the project was not resumed until 1984. The first prototype of the Z-8 made its maiden flight on December 11, 1985. Beijing approved the production on April 8, 1989. The PLAN received the first helicopter for service trials on August 5, 1989. China granted the final design approval on November 12, 1994. The Z-8 closely resembles the SA-321JA. As we already have a video on the Super Furlong, we will concentrate solely on its differences. With a slightly longer fuselage, the Chinese helicopter increases the cargo cabin by 4.3 cubic meters. This additional space, however, comes at the cost of increased empty weight and reduced fuel capacity. The Z-8 accommodates up to 27 fully armed troops, 39 unarmed passengers, or 15 stretchers along with a medical attendant. The rotorcraft can lift and transport 5 tons of cargo using an external sling. It features a fully redundant flight control system equipped with the domestically developed Dongfang KJ-8 autopilot. The helicopter can be armed with the Yu-7 torpedo, a Chinese copy of the US Mark 46 torpedo. It can also carry depth charges and naval mines. The WZ-6 turboshaft engine of the Z-8 is likely the most significant difference from the SA-321JA. Although it is a licensed version of the Changhe Z-8 Super Furlong, it proves to be far less reliable than the original French variant. Moreover, the engine's operational lifespan is only 1,250 hours, necessitating overhauls every 350 hours, which is markedly shorter than the 3,200-hour service life and 1,250-hour time to first overhaul of the Changhe Z-8. The Z-8 has a crew of 2 to 3 personnel and can carry up to 39 passengers. It measures 23.04 meters in length, with a rotor diameter of 18.9 meters and a height of 6.66 meters. The helicopter's empty and maximum takeoff weights are 7,550 and 13,000 kilograms, respectively. It can reach a top speed of 296 kilometers per hour with its three 1,373 shaft horsepower WZ6 turboshaft engines. Its cruising speed is 255 kilometers per hour. The helicopter's ferry range extends to 1,020 kilometers. The Z-8 can climb to an altitude of 6,000 meters, equivalent to 19,860 feet. The Z-8A is a tactical transport variant developed for the PLA Ground Forces or PLA-GF. While keeping the basic airframe and engine, its fuselage is not watertight to reduce weight. Unlike the Z-8, the A version replaces the hydraulic emergency control with a duplicated standard control system and includes a nose-mounted weather radar. Dissatisfied with the Z-8A's performance, the PLA-GF ordered only a few units. The Z-8B is basically Z-8A without the stabilizing float attached to each rear landing gear. It is fitted with a modernized glass cockpit similar to that of the AC-313. Its search and rescue variant with improved avionics is the Z-8E. A little-known specialized variant of the helicopter, the Z-8WJ combines elements of the Z-8B and the civil AC-312. The Z-8F is an advanced version of the Z-8A equipped with 1,940 shaft horsepower, Pratt & Whitney Canada PT6A67B engines, composite rotors, and new avionics for better high-altitude performance and reliability. Although the PLA-GF has not adopted this version, the PLA Air Force or PLAF has acquired its K and KA search and rescue variants. The first serves in offshore missions and the latter in overland operations. The AC-313 is the civilian derivative based on the Z-8F. Based on the Z-8A, the Z-8J shipborne transport version has a foldable rotor, a tail rotor, a paddle wheel, and a tail driveshaft. Its 1,630 shaft horsepower WZ6A turboshaft engine offers significantly improved reliability and easier maintenance, as well as enhanced performance in high-temperature, high-humidity conditions. The Z-8J is equipped with a pod containing an optoelectronic system. The Z-8JA is the ship-to-ship transport and resupply variant. The Z-8JH is its medical evacuation version. The Z-8C is a Z-8J variant with limited improvements, incorporating elements of the Z-18 and is operated by the PLAN Marine Corps for amphibious assault operations. The Z-8J's search and rescue version is the Z-8S. Developed for civilian use, the Z-8WJS has three slightly different subtypes. The first is essentially a Z-8B variant without side floats, but it retains the nose radar. The second is based on the AC-313. The final subtype is the Z-8G variant developed for firefighting missions, fitted with an infrared camera and an enhanced data link. Development of the Z-18, which is not a variant but a new transport helicopter based on the Z-8, started in 2010. It is fitted with three 1,820 shaft horsepower WZ-108 and turboshaft engines, delivering improved performance at high altitudes. The Z-18 features a streamlined exterior, flattened undercarriage, and extensive use of composite materials, accounting for 50%. The Z-18F is the anti-submarine warfare version. The Z-18J, previously known as the Z-18Y, is a carrier-based airborne early warning and control helicopter. It has the 2012 shaft horsepower PT6B67A turboshaft engines. Initially called Z-18A, The Z-8G is the utility and tactical transport version. Operated by the PLAGF, it can carry 30 soldiers. The helicopter features a glass cockpit, satellite communication capability, and Beidou GPS equipment. Its slightly longer, droopier nose houses a weather radar, a terrain-following radar, and an IFF system while providing better ground visibility. The Z-8G has a top speed of 265 km per hour, a cruise speed of 230 km per hour, and a range of 600 km. It can reach an altitude of 9,000 meters. Armor plates, radar warning receivers, and missile warning devices enhance its survivability. The Z-8G also includes an airborne command post variant. The Z-8GD is its electronic warfare version, equipped with cylindrical antennas on either side of the fuselage. The radar beneath the nose has been removed to make space for them. Since Z-8G's cargo cabin and rear loading door are unsuitable for transporting the JL-1400UB 8x8 all-terrain vehicle of the PLAGF's airborne units, CAIG developed the Z-8L variant with a wider fuselage. It also has large sponsons that carry extra fuel. The AC-313A is the civilian derivative of the Z-8L. Z-8 production has been very slow, staying at 2 to 3 helicopters per year. Although CAIG has developed many variants, total deliveries have been just over 200 units since the mid-1990s. This number is too low for a large operator like China. Since it was dissatisfied with the Z-8A's performance, the PLAGF only acquired a small number and ordered the Russian Mi-17s. The PLAN is the largest operator of this rotorcraft, but it is not the most numerous helicopter in the fleet. Why? One key factor is the timing of copying the SA-321. While the era of the Superfalcon was coming to an end in France, Chinese engineers at CAIG attempted to revitalize this design. By the 1980s, however, a new generation of helicopters had already appeared internationally, making the revived Superfalcon design outdated upon introduction. Second, the Chinese aviation industry began the project without the necessary technological skills. Before the Superfalcon, in the early 1970s, China had obtained some Mi-6 and tried to copy this helicopter. After a brief assessment, Beijing quickly realized that moving forward with this project would be impossible. With the French rotorcraft, China renewed this effort, but progress was slow. Turboshaft production proved especially challenging. Most PLA branches were reluctant to adopt the Z-8 due to its unreliable, underpowered engine. The situation in the PLAN was more complex. Aerospatiale granted license production rights for the AS-365 Dauphin. This deal provided a direct technology transfer to Harbin Aircraft Industry Group, or HAIG. Meanwhile, CAIG had to reinvent the wheel in many areas. Consequently, the Chinese Dauphin, the Z-9, offered a smoother development and production process, thereby reducing both production and lifecycle costs. Furthermore, it was a next-generation, lightweight, compact, reliable, and easy-to-maintain helicopter. These features made the Z-9C a superior naval helicopter compared to the Z-8. Nonetheless, this large rotorcraft had its own benefits, such as greater transport capacity. Therefore, unlike other service branches, the PLAN Marine Corps viewed the Z-8 positively. However, until the Type 071 class landing platform docks were commissioned, no Chinese amphibious assault ships could carry this helicopter due to size and weight restrictions. As a result, the Marine Corps' use of the Z-8 was limited to deployment at various land bases as required until 2007. Furthermore, in the 1980s, China also acquired next-generation Skorsky S-70s from the USA. After long-standing resistance to continuing with the SA-321-based family, Beijing ultimately shifted direction and introduced the HAIG Z-20 in the 2010s, the Chinese copy of the Black Hawk. Nevertheless, CAIG developed modern helicopter design and production capabilities through the Z-8 project. The company later copied the AS-350 Écureuil as the Z-11, began licensed AW109 production as a CA109 and developed the Z-10. Ultimately, the issues in the Z-8 program have shown China the right path to develop a modern helicopter industry. Although the project has not been technically or commercially successful as hoped, overall it remains a significant achievement. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments, and shares.